This is the world's premier online racing simulation. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat from your home computer with the most realistic online motorsports experience you'll find anywhere. Race virtually in the world's biggest events with officially licensed series, cars, and tracks. From the high banks of Daytona to the blistering speeds of Indianapolis, the dirt of Eldora to the world's most legendary road courses. It's all here, and with more than 180,000 people just like you already driving, you'll always have someone to race. Ready to get behind the wheel? Sign up at iRacing.com to get started.
Nashville SuperSpeedway, we welcome you in on a Sunday evening, virtually on iRacing, to this 1.33-mile oval to the east of Nashville in Lebanon, Tennessee. It's round number 11 of the FEG Xfinity Series in the Sim 500 Xfinity Series. I am the captain. We welcome you in on this Sunday evening to some racing. 150 laps tonight, 75 laps, the halfway point. Of course, default weather, as always, in the Sim 500 series. But this 1.33-mile D-shaped oval in for a fun night of racing coming up here in just a few minutes as we are halfway through qualifying as we speak. So we'll get ready for the race in about 2.5 minutes or so. All right, let's take a look at the point standings. But needless to say, it's been a dominant effort for Daniel Falkingham, who has 8 wins this season, including the last 6 races. He has gone the victory lane. He's looking for another one tonight. And yes, he is here, and he's fast again as he leads right now, almost a 100-point lead over Pedro Mojica, Mike Kelly, Josh Adams, Chad Coleman, your top 5, all the way down to 20th. But, of course, there's the playoffs coming later this season, so a lot of things can change, even though you see Daniel there with the 8 wins. And as you know, FEG, the Ford Entertainment Group, the sponsor of the series, they are giving away a Fanatec Direct Drive CSL wheel. And that goes to the person that completes the most laps throughout the season. And if you look on the screen, you still see the same 4 drivers up there on the list who have completed all 1,197 laps. Josh Adams, Chad Coleman, Chuck Sweeting, Eric Arnold, all of them are here again tonight. So that chance could happen as those 4 continue to battle out right now. And you see everybody who's within 11 laps of the top spot right now for the most laps completed on the season. Again, the winner will get a Direct Drive CSL wheel, thanks to, of course, the Ford Entertainment Group that is the sponsor of the series this season. So Nashville, as you see, concrete, 1.33 miles, used to host NASCAR racing back in the early to mid-2000s and 2010s. The track shut down for a bit, and then as of last year, it came back to life and hosted its first triple header, including Cup racing last season. It was brought on iRacing roughly about 2 or 3 months ago, I want to say. And it's been here ever since and has produced some interesting racing. Some like it, some don't. But we'll see what we get tonight. I think we're in store for what could be an interesting race with 3 sets of tires. with the stage at lap 75, which, of course, there's no caution. They just race to halfway, and they get bonus points and that kind of thing. 2 green-white checkers. So with that, the way it all sets up, you would think that tonight might be broken down into 3 stages when it is all said and done. So we'll just have to see when this race is completed in 150 laps for this evening, as the grid will start to set up right now, as you are going to see a very familiar name up there at the top. And it's not by accident. He's a pretty darn good driver. And we're going to talk to him really quickly. Let's drag him up here as the grid forms up. He is the pole sitter for tonight's race. He's also the guy that's won like the last 6 races. Going for 7 in a row tonight. Daniel, another great lap. I noticed you were fastest in practice. Nashville tonight. Is it another race that we could see the 39 up front most of the night? Let me make sure I got him in the right channel here with me. Daniel, you got a copy? Let's do this. How about I hit the button to talk to you? Daniel, obviously on the pole again tonight. Another fast car. Is this the night we see the 39 dominate again?
I like to hope so. Of course, I don't want to get over extravagant and I like to take these races week by week. Just feels good having the speed each and every week no matter where we go. It's always a good feeling because you never know when you may not have it anymore. So, I mean, I like to think we can have another good race, but just like every race, we need to have everything go our way and just hopefully make this thing get to the finish.
Kind of racing we're going to see tonight, because I've had some people talk about how the setup seems kind of looser as we go into the run. Is that going to open up an opportunity for a second groove this evening, or are we going to see everybody on the bottom?
We'll see. We may have an outer groove, you never know, but if this thing does loosen up, we'll make for a good race because I have to manage your tires. You have to wheel these cars, and there's a lot of off-throttle time here. So that should make for some really good racing, and hey, we'll see what happens. I think it should be a good show for all you guys. Absolutely,
man. Appreciate you joining us this evening. Congratulations on the start so far, and best of luck here tonight.
All right, thank you, Chris. Enjoy the show.
Yes, sir. Daniel Falkingham, the pole sitter here this evening here at the virtual Nashville SuperSpeedway. As we look at the starting lineup, he'll start next to Tommy Ryan, who put up a good lap there starting P2. Pedro Mojica, the guy that's been chasing Daniel for all 10 races so far this season, will start third alongside Jimmy Coleman. Mike Kelly, Kevin D. Brown, who jokingly said tonight there's a hit out for Daniel Falkingham. It's a joke, I promise you. He'll start sixth. Chad Coleman, Bob Gillenwater, starting in row number 4. There's Josh Adams, Scott Simley, row 5. Row 6, Richard Beasley and Doy Woods. Row number 7, David Comstock, Jeff Ryan. Ron Holyfield, E.J. O'Rourke back in the field again this evening. Looking at the rest of your field is where you'll see Tyler Dalton and Chuck Sweeting in row number 9. Row 10, Josh Parker, who's had a really good run from the back every race, so we'll see if he can do it again tonight. Next to Charles Woods. John Hickman Jr. in a Mark Martin throwback. Pretty cool car. He'll start 21st alongside Doug Sigmund. Gerald Livingston and Eric Arnold in row number 12. In the final row tonight, unfortunately, the low amount of guys tonight, 26. But looks like 4 of them did not grid here, so we're only going to go green with 22 cars at the start of this race. But as I mentioned, 150 laps. To run this race, 75 is halfway. At Nashville SuperSpeedway, virtually on iRacing. Sit back, enjoy your Sunday night. It is Sim 500 action on the Captain Esports Network. You see Tommy Ryan immediately jumping back and getting behind the 39 car off turn 1 and turn 2 down the back straightaway here. This track banked at 14 degrees in the corners. As they bring it off turn 4, it will be the 39 picking up where he has left off so far this season. Right up there at the front of the field. First side-by-side battle is where you see the 56 and the 4. As Gillenwater trying to hold off Josh Adams for the position. He'll take that spot away for 8th. And as always tonight, our camera is produced by TrackCams22.com. You can check them out on Facebook, also on the iRacing forums, and at trackcam22.com. Everybody holding tight right now for position. Ron Holyfield in that number 1 Chevrolet. Tyler Dalton in the 19 to 28 there. Doy Woods. This is 14th, 15th, and 16th right now. As that battle is on, and also the battle for second. Look at that. Outside lane, Pedro Mojica taking the position from Tommy Ryan. Ooh, put that one in your notebooks. Watch that again. That was impressive. All right, so it looks like that Higman, Crumride, Gattina, and Arnold did not take the green flag here, so only 22 starters in the race this evening. Ryan with Tommy Ryan front straightaway here, D-shaped. Speed's close to about 170 mile an hour. You're on the brake into turn 1. And a lot of off-gas time here, and you roll back to it. On the brake down to turn 3, roll through the corner, and roll back to the gas as you see, Pedro clipping the wall just a little bit there. This track has the look of a super speedway, and the corners race is a lot like a short track. Jimmy Coleman back here in the 54 in the 4th position right now. Mike Kelly, 5th position, got Kevin DeBryan about 0.3 of a second behind or so, as we're 7 laps in. Eric Arnold joining the race in the 31 car. He is already, unfortunately, 7 laps down in this race, as Daniel's starting to pull it away now. Let's go back here as Tyler Dalton trying to get around Ron Holyfield in the 1 car, looking low. Holyfield kind of shutting the door on him. Dalton, who's had a pretty good season, had a pretty good car in practice, it seemed like. Did a lot of experimenting out there. Surprised it to start this far back, but the battle for 15th right now, he'll take the spot away from Holyfield. Going through turn 1 and 2. How about Mike Kelly here, coming off a top 3 finish last week? Not able to make the move. He had to clean air there, but the 54 able to clear for the position as we're 10 laps in. As I mentioned, Nashville, one of those tracks that people either love or people hate. You know, some people feel it's kind of boring with single file racing. It's tough to pass. You know, some people find it's a fun track to race, and I understand both sides of it. But the fact is, everybody has to run the race, and Everybody's got the same conditions out there on this track. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, the Ford Entertainment Group, the sponsor of tonight's and this season's FEG Xfinity Series, is a group that specializes in sim racing and sim flight gaming machines with over 3,500 PCs built for sim racers and sim flight pilots. All FEG PCs come with a front-to-back warranty on every part as well as free labor. Everything is covered PC. So Falkingham leads by 7/10 right now. Pedro Mojica, Tommy Ryan, Jimmy Coleman, and Mike Kelly are top 5 as the battle on back here. Jeff Ryan under attack as Doy Woods, and here comes Tyler Dalton in that number 19 Camaro. A lot of questions been asked about the tire wear and what we're going to see here this evening. A lot of people, with this track being relatively new, you're getting to the point where a lot of the series here have not run this track. And this is another series here, the Sim 500 guys that I believe have not run this virtual Nashville Superspeedway. And if that's the case, you know, you got a lot of guys in this league that are running this for the first time ever and learning as we go. You know, some talked about the fuel mileage here tonight. Some expect you to be able to go about 60 to 70 laps. Of course, 75 being the halfway point in this race. Keeps you short on fuel to the halfway point. So with that, logically, you would think go to lap 50, get a set of tires, go to lap 100, get another set of tires, and then you have a third set out of your 3 that you'll have for the final 50 laps if you get a caution in there somewhere. Bada bing, bada boom, you go from there. As you see Holyfield getting past Jeff Ryan for position. Let's check out the speeds that they're running here. Yeah, about 172 mile an hour all the way down into the 120s. I would expect these guys, the longer they go on a run, the more mistakes you're going to see, and I think you're going to see a lot more passing happen. As Kevin D. Brown has gotten to the back bumper of Mike Kelly, who is still fighting to get around the Jimmy Coleman mobile. Kevin D. Brown, who has put together a great series of racing here the last couple weeks, looking to keep that string alive of top 5 finishes. And look at this, CJ O'Rourke, Daytona winner to the inside in that 41 car. Haven't seen the personal comfort number 41 in a couple weeks. CJ making a return. Now, one thing I will point out here, Pedro Mojica is making ground on the 39 car. So we've seen this game kind of played before where early in a race the 39 burns up his tires and Pedro or somebody will catch him, but then of course later in the race Daniel learns from this and goes on. So I wonder if this is another situation where Daniel maybe took off and went too hard and burned up that right front, and now Pedro's coming back. Oh, you can see right there how the car is sliding out of up the track, and then, of course, he has to put more wheel in it, and Falkingham almost spins her out off turn 4 there. As you see Mike Kelly back here. This is for 4th. And move the Verizon Deuce up to 4th. Yeah. As here we go. Let's see. Let's watch this 31 into the corner here. Arcs it down. Tries to. Look at it. You can't even get down to the yellow line. So that right there is telling you this car is tight. Pedro's car is painted on that yellow line right now. If you can get some air on that left front, it allows you to get the grip off the corner. That time around, Daniel did a better job getting her on the bottom. Right there, you see how Pedro's able to get to the bottom and stay down there a lot longer. That gets him the grip he needs off the corner, and here you see he's now able to pounce on the 39 here. Yeah, Pedro's beating him off turn 2 every time. I just don't know if it's enough right now. Oh, he's got to run off 4 here. Pedro's kind of putting his nose out there. Do you see Mike Kelly's up to the 3rd position? So that 2 car is obviously starting to wake up a little bit here on this long run. Daniel a little loose off turn 2. Here comes Pedro. Oh, this might be a confidence booster for the 58. Daniel's going to squeeze him down here to try to keep the run off the corner. The one thing we got to be careful of with these cars, turn 1, very easy to either overdrive or underdrive into the corner. And you're going to see some cars wash up the track, especially later in this run. As these tires continue to fall off, Pedro is going to clear to 39, new leader. And something tells me we might have gotten a little bit of a fist pump out of the 58 there. As I mentioned, Mike Kelly back here, 3rd position. Josh Adams, he's up 5 spots. The Best Buy Toyota, he's up here in the 4th position now. And Jimmy Coleman in the 5th position. There's Chad Coleman, 8th position for him right now, running behind Kevin D. Brown. Of course, Chad, one of 4 drivers so far in the series that have run every lap as Bob Gillenwater gets to his bottom side. Bob had a really good run last week. That Beast TV number 4. Laps have fallen off at about 1 second or so. 30 laps into this race. Everybody running 31 7s, 8s, 9s into the 32-second laps. As Jimmy Coleman continues to try to hold off Tommy Ryan in that 99. See the 54 slides up the track. This is where I was starting to talk about with these long runs. These cars are going to start slipping and sliding a little bit. You're going to see a lot more passing, I think, happen. And Tommy Ryan moves into 5th position because of it. And then right back here, Kevin D. Brown all over the back bumper of this 38. Appreciate everybody joining us tonight here on the Captain Esports Network. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're on Twitch, if you're on the Facebook channel, or even on the Sim 500 Facebook channel, you can watch us there as we're cross-posted through Facebook. Give us a like or a follow if you would like to, or you can obviously leave a comment. Killing water inside of Jimmy Coleman, so that car must be getting pretty tight now. Gillen Water going to go by. Here's Chad Coleman, no relation, inside of the 54. And look at Scott Simley in that 12th car. A lot of good passing going on out here as you see the comers and goers, as we like to call it in racing. David Comstock, the 13 car, passing Kevin E. Brown. There's Dalton up 5 spots in this race. And Pedro Mojica is pulled away from the 39, half a second right now. And Mike Kelly is catching the 39 there behind him in 3rd. We are going to step away for a quick second. We'll come back and get you closer to the halfway point here as we'll give away some bonus points and more as you're watching the FEG Xfinity Series from Sim 500 on the Captain Esports Network.
This is your chance to get behind the wheel. The opportunity to race just like the pros. From the grassroots levels, where we all got our start, to the most popular race cars on the planet. From the fairgrounds of Nashville to the high banks of Daytona, to tracks that will never be forgotten. Realistic driving, intense competition, all from the comfort of your own home. This is the ultimate motorsports simulation. This is iRacing.
Welcome back to the virtual Nashville SuperSpeedway on iRacing as we are 36 laps complete out of 150 here. And it's still Pedro Mojica up there in the front. We've watched Jimmy Coleman there in the 54 continue to slide back. Pedro at about 0.8 of a second over Falkingham, and then 1.1 back to Mike Kelly. And this right here, about the closest racing we're seeing on the track, is Doy Woods looking inside of Richard Beasley now. Beasley's just going to let him slide on by. And issues for Josh Parker, who's trying to get to pit road. That's not how you do it. Well, I guess that's kind of how you do it. You got inside the cone. Was he speeding or not? It's a $1 million question. '81 on pit road. Let's see. Right side tires going on here, lap 39. So he is splitting this run in half, it looks like. A little bit of damage on the right front, it looks like. And I think we got a speeding penalty there because he is sitting there still. Mike Kelly putting the pressure on the 39. This is for second. And Josh Adams joining that battle. As we watch that battle, we continue to watch the falling of Jimmy Coleman, unfortunately, here in a 54 car. Not only that, but Kevin D. Brown falling back also. Chuck Sweeting there, another one of the drivers battling for that FEG direct drive steering wheel. Of course, he's run every lap so far this season. Trying to get you all the passing we can get you and all the great racing here. In the virtual Nashville SuperSpeedway. As the 28 of Doy Woods gets behind the 54. So Jimmy Coleman's fallen all the way back to the 15th position now after starting in the 4th spot. And I did see a little bit of damage on that right side, so unfortunately for him, that car is probably plowing tight right now. Now, how crazy is this battle right now? When you look at this line, all the way from Bob Gillenwater to Richard Beasley, that's 5th through 16th position, right there in that picture. All roughly, give or take 2 seconds off each other. As Sweeting goes by Kevin D. Brown, and behind them, you saw Beasley get past the 54. You see Kevin D. Brown up the track, almost got in the back of Chuck Sweeting. "30 laps from the halfway point," which again gives away bonus points. Mike Kelly continuing to pressure Daniel Falkingham for second. Josh Adams right there with him. Kelly getting the rung, trying to show his nose a little bit here. Is he going to dive it in? He will. Oh, easy. Getting a run through 3 and 4 there. Daniel giving him enough room, we'll call it. We talked about the two-groove racing out here. I had one person tell me, yeah, if you squeeze the inside car, you have a shot. And you've seen Daniel do that, but unfortunately not going to help as Kelly makes the pass. Here comes Adams now. So something rare we normally don't see is the 39 of Falkingham falling back. All right, so a lot of people think this is the window right here coming up to lap 50. I think we could see green flag pit stops right here to get off the set of tires. I'm going to turn the audio on actually here. I warn you, as always, there could be something that comes over the air. But let's listen to see if anybody calls pit stops out. And here comes Jeff Ryan, the first, the Virginia 811 Chevrolet. Jeff going to take 4 tires and fuel. For some reason having some blinking issues too. So there is Pedro Mojica leading this race tonight, looking for that first win of the season. Has come ever so close. Has finished a second to Daniel multiple times this season and has aggravated him to you-know-what and back. He's determined tonight and doing a good job. 1.2 seconds over Mike Kelly, who's now second. Of course, Daniel there in third. Josh Adams now in the 4th position with Bob Gillenwater 3 seconds back in the 5th spot. Josh to the bottom of Daniel. That best by number 56, the Supra. And he takes that spot away, so Josh Adams up to the 3rd position. All right, somebody just called out a pit stop here, so we'll see who it is. It is Mike Kelly. So 2nd place coming to pit road, along with Tommy Ryan coming to pit road.
I'm hitting EJ.
Sound like Tyler Dalton, who I heard there, as Kelly overshoots his pit stall slightly.
You'll be pitting here, Charles. Call 1 pit.
So lap 54, here comes Gillenwater. There's Dalton coming into the picture. EJ O'Rourke, it looks like there. As Mike Kelly, 17-second stop, not a good one. Chuck Sweet and Kevin D. Brown, Jimmy Coleman, Ron Holyfield, Gerald Livingston all on pit road.
Might have Tommy up hitting.
Pedro Mojica to pit road. The leader coming in. The tap out tuning Camaro hits his pit stall. 4 tires and fuel. 3 sets tonight, so this is easily set number 1. And I'll have 2 more to go for the rest of the evening. $14.9, good stop for Pedro. And now you got to be careful, because if you're not used to having newer tires around you on a track like this, it could be very tricky, because they are going to be a lot faster going through the corner. So here's your leader now, Josh Adams in the 56. EJ O'Rourke and Doy Woods on pit road now. Adams with about a 7/10 of a second lead over Daniel Falkingham. That's 5 seconds back to Chad Coleman. Scott Simley, Richard Beasley now. Your top 5 still got 6 cars left to come to pit road. As O'Rourke leaves the stall, and here comes Scott Simley. I'm just going to go ahead and comment, whoever painted the pit line on pit road might have had one or two extra beers. They had one job, paint a straight line. As Daniel comes to pit road, lap 60. And a 14.5 for him. You see Chad Coleman on pit road, now Richard Beasley and Josh Adams in. Left side tires going on a 56 car, and he will pull away. 14.7 there. So this is the only car I have yet to see pit. Doug Sigmund in the 04. Going to lead himself a lap. And when pit cycle comes back around, it should hand the lead to Pedro Mojica in the 58. He should have about a 1.3 second lead over Mike Kelly. And here comes Doug right now to pit road. So that'll complete the first round of pit stops. And at lap 62, that will be your leader of this race at Nashville. As we're now 12 laps away from the halfway point, let's take you through the field and show you after the round of pit stops where everybody is running right now. Of course, Pedro Mojica started third, running P1 right now. He's got 1.5 seconds over that Verizon white number 2 Ford, who's got the blinking Jeff Ryan to his outside. And that, of course, is Mike Kelly, third right now. How about this, the 99 of Tommy Ryan. Tommy about 2.1 seconds right now off the leader in the third position. In fourth, Bob Gillenwater. Good stop for him. A 14.9 during that round of stops. And he is about 3.8 seconds behind the leader. Right behind him, Daniel Falkingham, the pole sitter, back in fifth right now. Tyler Dalton, all of 5.9 seconds in the sixth position back. And about 0.7 of a second behind him, there's David Comstock, the number 13 Monster Energy Camaro. David almost 7 seconds back from the leader. You see Chuck Sweeting right there behind him. That is 7th and 8th right there. All 7 seconds back. Josh Adams fell all the way back to 8th after being one of the last cars to come to pit road. Running 9th right now, but has a fresher set of tires. Let's see if he can use them in this part of the race. And Jimmy Coleman, 10th position right now for him. 12 seconds back from Mojica. E.J. O'Rourke in that personal comfort number 41. 11th position for him. And he is trying to hold off Doy Woods right now, 12th position. Josh Adams getting by Chuck Sweeting, by the way, for the 8th position. And Chad Coleman, 13th position right now. He is 14 seconds back, about half track from the leader. And then right behind him, Scott Simley, 15th position, or 14th position for him. Richard Beasley, 15th position for him. Richard about 19 seconds back right now. All these cars still on the lead lap. Right behind him, Charles Woods, the postman, in the 40 car, right in 16th position. There's Ron Holyfield, 17th position. He is 20 seconds back. Gerald Livingston, the 96 car, in the 18th position. 22 seconds back. And then Jeff Ryan, the first car a lap down right now, in the 19th position. Doug Sigmund, who is the last car to come to pit road, he is 20th right now. Kevin D. Brown spent 54 seconds in his pit stall, which tells me that is a speeding penalty. How do you know that math? Well, 14-second stop plus the 40 you sit there for a speeding has him currently on the border of going 2 laps down right now. In 21st, Eric Arnold, he started late in this race and is 7 laps down as of right now, I believe. There you go. 5 laps to go before the bonus points are handed out. And that is where we sit in this Nashville race as Falkingham gets past Tommy Ryan for 3rd. So this 39 car waking back up a little bit. Not to mention 6-lap newer tires. Question is, can Daniel get to 2nd here before we get to lap 75? The answer is yes. He's just got to execute the pass here, as we're 2 laps away from halfway. Daniel's there. This is a good test for the new aerodynamics of iRacing. Daniel going to send it into turn 3 and 4, and he'll take it. So move him up to 2nd. I don't know if he's going to get to Pedro, though. 2.5 seconds right now. To gain before the halfway point here at lap 75. Now, last time by, Pedro was actually about a half a tenth faster, and that was with Daniel passing the 2 car. Let's check this time by at the line. 31.46 for Daniel. 31.30 for Falkingham, so about a tenth quicker as we're on the final lap right now before bonus points get put away. It's been a lot of Daniel Falkingham winning stages here this season, but Pedro made the move there early in the first run after Daniel might have burned his right front tire off, and he's led ever since, and he's going to come to the line and get himself 10 bonus points right there for leading at the halfway point, as it should be Falkingham 2nd, Mike Kelly, Tommy Ryan, Bob Gillenwater, Josh Adams, Tyler Dalton, David Comstock, Chuck Sweeting, and Chad Coleman. Your top 10. So 10 down to 1. And that'll give us an opportunity to step away for a second as we are halfway here in this FEG Xfinity Series from the virtual Nashville Superspeedway on iRacing here on the Captain Esports Network.
This is the world's premier online racing simulation. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat from your home computer with the most realistic online motorsports experience you'll find anywhere. Race virtually in the world's biggest events with officially licensed series, cars, and tracks. From the high banks of Daytona to the blistering speeds of Indianapolis, the dirt of Eldora to the world's most legendary road courses. It's all here, and with more than 180,000 people just like you already driving, you'll always have someone to race. Ready to get behind the wheel? Sign up at iRacing.com to get started.
All right, welcome back. 73 laps to go. One of the drivers you saw in that spot that was playing was Raji Karuth, who got himself a second place finish in the ARCA race this past weekend at Kansas Speedway. Congratulations to him on that. Shows you that iRacing can get you somewhere if you really put the work in for it. As we watch this battle for the third position, EJ O'Rourke has taken his car to pit road. Not sure what happened to the 41, but he is off track and on pit road. We ride with Mike Kelly as he tries to hold off Tommy Ryan for third. Once again, you see Tommy able to paint that yellow line. Kelly about a half a groove up. Interesting line there. You saw Tommy kind of enter high, bring it down to the bottom, almost a diamond look. Trying to keep that left front in the clean air. Very interesting when you see it that way. Another way to kind of show that, let's go to the old, step up here on Mike Kelly's car and let's hit the gearbox here. Watch where Tommy's left front is here when he gets to the apex. That little bit of orange, you could almost say, on the right, on the left front of his car is out there in clean air, and that's just a little bit added downforce. And you might think, well, Chris, this is like a video game. Why would that be real? You have no clue what iRacing has done. Josh Adams catching the back of that 99 right now. As this becomes a battle for the third position between three cars. As Adams looking low, just trying to show the nose a little bit to Ryan. Ryan does a good job defending it. Now Adams has 7 lap pressure tires into both of these guys, so this is the long run kind of playing out a role now with the way you come to pit road and get tires here. So Adams gets past Tommy Ryan, now coming up to the back of Mike Kelly. As Josh Adams trying to get that little bit of grip needed to get to the inside of Mike Kelly as these guys battle about 4 seconds back from Pedro Mojica. Oh, here he goes. Got the run off turn 4. And should be able to create or finish the pass is the words I'm looking for. Right there, turn 1. Well, this gives us the opportunity to talk about the website real quickly, and it is sim500.com. a fantastic made website that shows you the highlights of all the recent winners and series and all the history. As always, we like to kind of run through during the race and kind of highlight what has happened over the week. Of course, this past Monday night, the Cup Series, which is presented by North Carolina 811, ran Darlington's throwback race. Daniel Falkingham winning that race. They will be at the Kansas Speedway coming up here tomorrow night. Of course, you can see that broadcast over on LSR TV. Tuesday night, the Super Late Models, broadcasting on the Virtual Racing Network. And they were at Stafford Speedway. And Brian Hacker winning that race. Third straight win for him, as they will head up there to Virginia and Langley Speedway. Race number 7, that'll be Tuesday night. And then Wednesday night, the Trans Service Truck Series. I'll let you take a guess who won that race. As they were at Darlington, that was actually on the 4th of May. Daniel Falkingham winning that. They took last week off. They will be at Kansas coming up here Wednesday night before the taking the week of Memorial Day off. Actually, Charlotte, then Memorial Day, and then to Worldwide Technology Raceway in June. Go to, I jumped a series. The NASCAR Dirt Series, they're getting ready to go racing. Their first race coming up Thursday night from the virtual Bristol Motor Speedway Dirt. And as far as I know, that'll be broadcasted on the Whiskey Oval TV channel. Friday night, the Midnight Thunder Series on Extreme Sim TV. Donnie Lea winning the race this past Friday night at Charlotte Motor Speedway. They'll be at the virtual Chicagoland Speedway next week. And then the Saturday night Classic Cup Series, the 87s out there racing. They actually finished up in March. I'm not sure when they will get back going here in the very near future, but they usually run Saturday night. So as I said, something every night leading back to this FEG Xfinity Series, which of course is brought to you by the Ford Entertainment Group. They specialize in sim racing and sim flight gaming machines with over 3,500 PCs built for sim racers and sim flight pilots. All FEG PCs come with a front-to-back warranty on every part, as well as free labor. Everything is covered PC. Of course, they're giving away the CSL Direct Drive wheel to the driver who runs the most amount of laps this season. We're still in a 4-way tie. And as I go look at the 4 drivers right now, Chuck Sweeting, 9th position. Chad Coleman, 10th position. So there's 2 of them. Josh Adams is another, running in the 3rd spot right now. And of course, I'm having a slight brain, you know what, in my head of the 4th driver. I'm actually checking the point standings out right now as we speak. Tisby, Eric Arnold. Oh, Eric, uh-oh. Eric Arnold 7 laps down right now in this race, so his streak of running all the laps right now is in water, or in deep water, I should say. And the man needs some floaties. All right, 55 laps to go. Pedro Mojica, 2.2 seconds over Daniel Falkingham. Josh Adams, 8/10 back in the 3rd spot. Mike Kelly, 4th. And Tommy Reinier, top 5. Everybody pretty spread out now. And the comers and goers of tires and stuff like that. We ride with Chuck Sweeting as you look up at Tyler Dalton. So the question comes down to now, you have 2 sets of tires in the pits. When do you come and use them? When do you use this next set? Do you come in right here at 50 to go and go as far as you can go, and if you get a caution, you throw that extra set back on? You run this set as far as you can go, which would be another 20 laps or so, 25 laps. That sun's awfully blinding right now. And of course, a big shout out to our cameras tonight, trackcam22.com, a website for you to check out if you're looking for realistic cameras. The closest thing you'll see to real cameras on TV here on the Captain Esports Network. Check them out in the iRacing forums and on Facebook also. As Daniel under pressure, here comes Josh Adams. So the 39 struggling here on the long run. Nashville, one of the cooler trophies that you'll see in racing, the old Gibson guitar. Used to be painted by the great Sam Bass, unfortunately passed away a couple years back. Of course, the notorious incident that happened with a guitar in a race was Kyle Busch, of course, after winning I believe it was an Xfinity race at Nashville, actually smashed a guitar. And needless to say, Sam Bass was not too thrilled about it. I think he was trying to have a little fun with it, and unfortunately it wasn't fun for others. As Adams moves to second over Falkingham. Interesting to hear what Daniel has to say about the long runs, because this is twice now. After about 30 laps or so, his car kind of falls off, which you don't see much from him. As Jeff Ryan starts the second round of pit stops here. As we start to see maybe a battle for sixth starting to get closer and closer. David Comstock's got it within about a second of this number 4. All right, here we go. Daniel Falkingham playing a strategy move, coming to pit road. 48 to go. He was one of the last on pit road last run. I think this is going to force the 58 to pit road. The January 31st, number 39 in. That Pedro's coming in right behind him. He saw the move be made, and Josh Adams coming with him. A monkey see, monkey do. Pete, repeat, whatever you want to say. I mean, I honestly think if you're somebody like Bob Gillenwater, if you're David Comstock, Tyler Dalton, one of these cars back here at the end of the top 5 to top 10, I almost run this thing out. But I'm seeing right on cue as I say this. Oh, we got a spin. Chuck Sweeting over turn 4 on pit road has lofted 57 around. Oh, Rourke, what happened to that front end? And that did not bring out a caution, I guess. He must have went to the inside wall. David Comstock locking it down. So you wonder if Mike Kelly is that guy that is going to wait. As you can still go about roughly 15 laps on this set of tires. Up, Kelly's going to lock it down. Tommy Ryan's locking it down. Here they come. That should hand the lead to Chad Coleman. You see Holyfield on pit road, also Beasley and Comstock. Right side tires on, left side's going on next. You see Ron Holyfield exiting pit road to the left there. And Mike Kelly leaves this stall for 15, made at 14.8. Tommy Ryan 15.1, but actually beats the 2 off pit road. How big is that? You have to wonder, did Mike Kelly overshoot his pit stall again? And I didn't see it. He did that just a little bit ago. There's your leader now, Chad Coleman, the 38 car. I can see Chad pulling his strategy of waiting. Scott Simley, he will definitely pull the waiting strategy. I've seen Scott do that plenty of times. Larry McReynolds likes to say in real racing, if you follow the leader, you're going to follow the leader. Do something different. Simley right now is 2.3 seconds off the leader. He's got about 16 seconds back to Pedro Mojica, so he's got plenty of room. And here comes Simley to pit road right now, so that leaves Chad Coleman as the Lone Ranger here. Question is, how long will Chad go? As we're at lap 110, next time by. As we haven't seen a single yellow hanky on the track at all in this race. Let's pull up the pit strategy board. Right there, you see the difference. As Coleman came in at lap 59. Everybody else, 103, 102, 103, 105. I think Chad's at that point now where you have no choice but to go. As long as you can go here, I don't think you can really straddle it now, which is in this case where he would be. You either got to go pit when everybody else did, or you go as far as you can go on a tank of fuel. Is it going to cost Chad in the track position? Yes, but he will have 4 balonies ready for him in the pits, and he will be flying through this field. As you see Bob Gillenwater coming up to unlap himself. Going to bring Chuck Sweeting, who had a bad pit stop there, and Gillenwater also had a bad pit stop. I'm realizing now Bob had a speeding penalty, unfortunately, so he is in the 18th position now. Bob, who's a pretty smart feller, I've learned. You listen to him talk racing, he knows his stuff. All right, here comes Chad right now. 37 laps to go. So he is going to pit 10 laps after Pedro Mojica. And here comes Pedro right now to take the lead back. 58 has led the most laps in this race. He's got 1.8 seconds over Daniel Falkingham, who's got Josh Adams all over him. And then the big loser, if you want to call anybody a loser on pit road, was this guy right here, Mike Kelly. Far from a loser, by the way. He got by Tommy Ryan there for fourth, but now is some 6.5 seconds back from third. After having some pit road struggles, it looks like. All right, Chad Coleman leaves the pits, 14th position. And there he is right there. We'll watch him on tires. He is 30 seconds back. Exactly, almost one full lap. There's Mojica right there, 2 cars behind him. We'll see what kind of track position that gains to 38. As the battle is on for second. Josh doing a good job of keeping that car as close to that yellow line. Well, it's not really a yellow line. The transition, we'll call it. In turn 1 and 2. Well, there's yellow line, I guess. Well, both of them slide up that time. This is easily the best battle on the track right now. We will keep an eye on the battle for 5th and 6th and 7th, it looks like, as Tommy Ryan, Comstock, and Tyler Dalton all within about a second and a half of each other. I hope you've enjoyed this race. If you get a chance to, hit that follow button or hit the subscribe button on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch, wherever you're watching us tonight here on the Captain Esports Network. Or if you're watching over on the Sim 500 Facebook page, we appreciate you. Josh almost had a run into the corner. So unfortunately for Eric Arnold, he is going to take a big hit tonight. When it comes to the battle for the FEG CSL Direct Drive wheel, as he is going to likely finish in the somewhere in the 8 laps down area. And that'll leave us with 3 drivers who have completed every lap on the season so far. I'm not sure what happened, what caused him to miss those first 8 laps. A little loose there for Josh. Hold on here, young fella. A 1.7 seconds is the lead battle. We watch Tommy Ryan here as he tries to catch Mike Kelly about a half second up. So next week, the final race before Memorial Day weekend, as we will go to the virtual Texas Motor Speedway for 120 laps of racing. That'll be next Sunday night at 8:45 Eastern Time. Hopefully you'll join us here on the Captain Esports Network for that. And these two cannot settle it down at all. And I'll say this, Daniel Falkingham has kind of cut down the time on Pedro. This race isn't over yet. As Mojica's put a lap on the postman. They're in the 40 car. 12 cars on the lead lap. Fastest car on the track is Chad Coleman, 11th position now. He is 26 seconds back now. But he is the only one that's in the 3130 bracket. Everybody else is 3150 and higher. There's Richard Beasley, 10th position for him. Of course, I say that now the lead has gone back out to 1.8, so you wonder if Pedro maybe got caught behind that lap car there. As Adams still trying to get around the 39 car. Nineteen laps to go. Mike Kelly getting caught up behind Kevin D. Brown here, and that is letting Tommy Ryan come into the battle here for fourth, I should say. As Kelly does continue to rip off another top five here potentially this evening. Kevin D. Brown there in front of him. Unfortunately, 19th position for him as he had a speeding penalty on pit road during the first cycle of pit stops tonight. So we got this battle for fourth. We got the battle for second. And it looks like Coleman is kind of settled here in the 10th position right now as he's got 4.5 seconds up to Doy Woods after being the last car to come to pit road to take a set of tires. He did get by Richard Beasley there in the 10 car for 10th position. Adams doing everything he can to get to that back bumper to 39 to potentially get him loose or something, get him up the track. But Daniel doing a good job of maintaining here. He does everything he can to keep that win streak alive. But unfortunately, unless something magical happens here in the next 14 laps, Pedro Mojica might be strumming the guitar to victory lane. And both battles kind of calming down here. Let's talk to the biggest movers in the race tonight. That is two guys actually right here, 7th and 8th. Tyler Dalton started 17th. He is up to the 7th position. And Chuck Sweeting from 18th up to 8th. So great effort from both those drivers. Chuck went for a little spinneroo off of turn 4 to pit road there at the last cycle of pit stops. But he's done a good job of coming back and being in the top 10. Other big movers, Josh Adams up 6th to 3rd. Gerald Livingston up 6th from 23rd to 17th. And that's pretty much about it there. Unfortunately, the ones who have fallen the most tonight, Kevin D. Brown from the 6th position to 19th. And Jimmy Coleman from 4th to 14th in the race tonight. So I'm sure those two will be very disappointed as Josh is all over the 39 now. This is about the part of the run where Falkingham's tires go bye-bye. It's been like that all night. After about 30 laps, this car just falls off. In this case, it was about 40 laps. Nine laps to go for Pedro. You see Mike Kelly's got about a half second now over Tommy Ryan. Coleman back in 10th right now, catching Doy Woods. It's about a 2-second difference. It was 4, but unfortunately he's going to run out of laps. But not a bad effort with the new tires of Chad Coleman back there in the 10th position. Here's Pedro. Went out during the winter time and was running in the SuperSpeedway series. Went out there and won himself a few races, even won the SuperSpeedway championship. But ever since we've gotten going here with the FEG Xfinity series back in February, he has played second fiddle a lot of times in this race. And obviously all those times he finished second, it was because Daniel Falkingham was in front of him. Now, if I'm seeing this right, I'm looking at the numbers here. If Pedro goes to victory lane tonight, this would be his first career FEG Xfinity Series win. I'm just looking over the list of people who have won, and I'm just double and triple checking here. I do not see his name. Five laps to go. You see Adams right there still in the back of Falkingham for the position. As Mojica showed the frustration throughout the season, he was like, look, I enjoy racing them, but I just want to win. Here he comes, 4 laps to go. 2.3 seconds over the 39. And then Adams about 3/10 back from Falkingham, but 2.7 from Pedro. The series had one other caution-free race, and that was at Las Vegas in February. And now they're 3 laps away from doing it a second time this season at a track that, I'd be honest with you, I didn't expect it tonight. Nashville is very tricky. I was watching a lot of cars have issues in practice off turn 4. But sometimes these tougher tracks are the ones that will produce this kind of racing out here. As Adams still trying to get up there to Daniel for second. Wonder if that car's just gotten too tight for him. As Mojica brings it off turn number 4, he'll see the white flag. And the final lap from Music City. He knows now the race can't be taken from him by a caution. It's straight 1.3 miles back to the line. He comes into the series with 8 top 5s and 8 top 10s, but a 0 in that win column. Tonight, he's going to break the win streak of Daniel Falkingham and put a 1 in that win column as Mojica dominates at Nashville. Daniel comes home second. Josh Adams in the top 3. Mike Kelly, another top 5 finish. And Tommy Ryan comes back to finish 5th. As he will do some pretty happy donuts, I would say here. Pretty good burnout. Congratulations to Pedro on the win. Let's take a look at the final results here. From Music City, USA, as Pedro Mojica wins it by 2.2 seconds over Daniel Falkingham. Josh Adams third, Mike Kelly, Tommy Ryan, your top five as Comstock comes back in to finish sixth. Tyler Dalton seventh, Chuck Sweeting, Doy Woods, and Chad Coleman ends up in the 10th position. Richard Beasley finishing 11th. Scott Simley, the last of 12 cars on the lead lap tonight. Charles Woods finished 13th, Jimmy Coleman 14th, Ron Holyfield 15th. Bob Gillenwater 16th, Doug Sigmund finishing in the 17th position, Gerald Livingston 18th. And the rest of your finishing order tonight, Kevin D. Brown finishing 19th, Jeff Ryan 20th. Eric Arnold, the unfortunate streak of running in every lap so far this season ends here tonight. He'll finish 21st, 22nd, E.J. O'Rourke, Josh Parker 23rd, and the other three drivers, Higman, Jatina, and Crumride, did not start the race. As we wrap up here from Nashville, let's talk to some drivers who finished in the top three this evening. Let's start with our third place finishers. All of a sudden, my talking skills have gone to zero. I'm just looking around. Actually, I don't see Josh in here yet. We'll wait for Mr. Adams to join us. Let's get Daniel in here and talk to him. And Daniel finishing in the second position as Josh Adams pulls into the waiting room. Daniel, second place, unfortunately, tonight. One thing I noticed, and correct me if I'm wrong, just obviously evaluating here, it looked like after about 30 laps, your tires went bye-bye.
For sure they did. Like, I'm trying to just watch it back. I'm not gonna lie, that's the most frustrating race I've ever done in a while. Just, I don't know, like, that was probably the worst thing I've driven all season. Like, I don't know, like, I felt like I was taking it easy at the start, driving it in easy, just trying to throttle up off. Mm-hmm. But just figured it was going to get a little bit loose, but now just every time the nose would just plow off turn two. My main issue was off turn two, where I'd slowly get to the gas, but the nose would just shove right up the corner.
That's exactly what we noticed. Yep.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, I'm mega confused, so I definitely have to go back to the drawing board for sure. At least Pedro knew what he was doing, so I definitely gotta, like I said, I gotta go back to the drawing board or something. But congrats, Pedro, on the win. Oh, the streak was bound to end sometime, and I guess eventually did. But I mean, like I said, there's a lot more things I can work on and stuff for sure. Just that's what I'm do. I'm always here. I'm always learning every race. So I mean, hey, we still got second, still lots of good points there. Or at least keep like the top two streak alive. So I guess we can start that streak. But like I said, still happy. Still got P2 on the podium, and I'm talking with you at the end of the night. So I guess it ain't all that bad.
No, not so much. And about the league itself here, I know tonight was, I believe, the season low we've had with 26 26 showed up, 23 started. But still, to see a caution-free race at a track that I'm not even sure you guys have even raced at in a series yet here at Nashville SuperSpeedway, to go caution-free is got to be pretty impressive.
Oh yeah, like whenever we get green flag racing here, it's a blast. But I was hoping for a caution, so I give like one more shot at Pedro. But I knew we didn't have a lot of cars, so I knew it was gonna be hard for a yellow to come out. But yeah, I mean, like I said, like when we get green flag racing, it's a lot of fun. That just shows a lot. I mean, yeah, we had a small field, but still 26 cars is a lot, especially on a track like this. So, but yeah, definitely my inexperience at this track. I haven't run a lot of races here, or I don't think I've ever even ran a race here except in the Cup car. But yeah, for sure, it was always great going caution free, but definitely some stuff I need to clean up to fix my long run here, which is guess it'll be something to think about down the road and in the near future whenever I come up at this track once again. So, but all in all, still a fun race. Glad I tried. I think I figured it out at the end, but still my tires were still shot. So, but yeah, still fun race. Like I said, streak was bound to end. But oh well, if someone had beat me, I'm glad it was Pedro. So congrats to him.
Absolutely, and Josh gave you a hell of a battle. Half that race pretty much for second in the end, and you were able to hold him off there. A couple of times you kind of showed the nose, and I was like, man, I wonder if Daniel's going to get in that bottom lane, but you just kept shutting it down and ended up holding him off.
Yeah, I mean, there was a time he would throw it in from so far back when I was just like, I don't know how he does that. Because, I mean, that was what Mike Kelly and a lot of them were doing on that long run, the first run, and I just don't know how they could do it. Like, I just had no right front grip on entry whatsoever, and it would just destroy me. Like, I'm just, like, how are they doing that? But, I mean, there was a few times where I got skeptical. He launched it in from so far back, but I was already turning into the corner, and I'm just not going to open up the wheel and give him a spot. I'm going to race you hard for it. So, I did my best to defend there because Josh had like 2 fresher lap tires than me there, so I did all I could to defend him off, just parking it in the center so he couldn't set up a run off the exit for me or on me. And thankfully it worked because I think he burned up his stuff right there at the end. I was able to hold him off, so at least I can finish second. If I couldn't win, I at least want to finish right behind. So thankfully we figured that out. So I was hoping that little pit strategy, just pitting early, would help me out there, but it just was my demise. So we gave her a run at it, but thankfully we were hold on to finish second.
Absolutely, man. Well, great job tonight. Shout out to whoever you like to, bud.
Yeah, I just got to thank First Base Love 207, January 31st, for all they do, for all their support. I got to thank Joey, all the admins who run the show at Sim 500. I got to thank you for putting on the broadcast. You doing the one-man show. It's always great to go back and watch these broadcasts. I got to thank FEG, Ford Entertainment Group, for all they do for the series. I got to thank Team Name, Chad, David, Kevin, Beasley, Josh, Doy, and of course Pedro. Congrats again on him on the win. Definitely got to ask him how he drove this thing, because I'm still confused. But yeah, congrats to him on the win. Definitely fully earned it, fully deserved it. I got to thank everyone at North Force Racing, Preston Gilson, the whole crew over there, all my teammates, Tyler Gary, Parker White, Daniel Budfugo, Dylan Basin, David Shieldhouse, and Colton Salek. We had a big race this past Thursday with Road Pro. Had a great result over there last Thursday, and we were able to, I think, lock ourselves into round 2. So we are ready to go there, ready to go full send there. But I appreciate all the guys who've done all the hard work over there for Road to Pro. Looking to get back into it in a week and a half. Thanks to all the fans who watch these every race. Thanks to Coleman for painting up my car for me, Spotchico Graphics, and friends and family for all their support for me as well.
Not to tease myself a little bit, but if you go back and watch Pedro pass you, you might get a lot of feedback. Because I'm on board Pedro's car. I'm just going to throw it like that. So I always like helping people. So there you go.
Like I said, definitely, like I said, I'm always learning. I mean, yes, there's maybe times I'm always winning, always racing, or always leading, but I'm always learning every race. So this was definitely one to learn for sure.
There you go, buddy. Good job, man.
All right, I appreciate it, Chris. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Daniel Falkingham finishing second for once. I guess that's okay. Now, the guy that battled him for about 100 and something laps, Josh Adams, finishing in the third position tonight. Josh, obviously you were able to get him there in that second run of the race, but the third run, I assume you probably burnt your stuff up trying to get to him there in that final run. But still, man, a great race here tonight at Nashville and a great finish for you.
Oh, yeah, it was a really fun race. Yeah, that's a great track to be able to run all those laps in a row. But, yeah, back to Daniel, I knew that if I could try and pass him quick, I thought I was faster than Pedro on that first run of the race. So I'm like, if I can just get by Daniel pretty quick, I might have a shot at it. So I threw some stuff at him, and he ran a really solid race right in front of me. But V3 is still good.
How much did starting ninth hurt?
Probably not too much. I mean, we got the track position in the end, but I would have liked to maybe start up inside the top 5 to see what I might have had for Pedro right off the jump. But I don't know, I found out I was pretty good on the long run, so I wasn't sure how I was going to be. I didn't really practice much coming into the race.
Yeah, one thing that Daniel complimented you on was how you were able to enter the corner. He said he's going to go back and watch some of this because he was like, he was seeing times look like you were a couple tenths back and you just drove it in there into these corners. And he's like, how in the world? And it looked like that was one of your strong points.
Yeah, I think it kind of went against me on the last run of the race because I think I ran it a little bit too hard trying to pass him. But I think we go back to this track a second time, so I can't give him my secrets.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. But, hey, man, great job tonight. Good third-place finish for you. I expect a Danhausen paint sometime down the road, and shout out to whoever you like to.
Hey, I would definitely run a Danhausen paint if somebody made one for me.
You'd be cursed. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Who'd you say?
You'd be cursed. Just saying.
Oh, yeah. But no, just everybody that runs Sim 500, I've had a great time running this. FEG for the title sponsor. Just everybody in the series. It's been fun to run for my first season.
For those who don't know, he's an AEW superstar. Pretty good vlog, by the way, on YouTube. Great job tonight, Josh. Congratulations on your third place run.
I think, maybe we'll do, I saw a Hookhausen paint.
Look out.
On Trading Paints earlier, so.
Send Hook. I like it.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Good job.
Thank you.
You too. Josh Adams finishing in the third position here this evening. And the winner of the race, who's probably the happiest man virtually in Nashville is this guy right here, Pedro Mojica, wins this race. Congratulations, Pedro. I was looking at the numbers. First career win in this series?
Yeah, Chris, it's crazy to think, right?
What?
We've been running up front so much this year, man. And I think I finished second 4 times, and there's 2 other races where I should have finished second, but I messed up on restarts or whatnot. And I mean, it just, been the bridesmaid pretty much most of the season to Daniel. So to finally pull this one off in the fashion I did, it feels really good moving forward.
All right, let's be real here for a second. You let out a fist pump probably when you passed him for the lead.
I let out a little sigh of relief. We'll say that for sure. Because Daniel's tough, man. He's
Right.
so good at every track we go to, and he races hard. And the way the packages are, and all the oval cars, track position is really important. So if you can hold somebody up and hold the lead for a couple more laps, like that could be the difference between you staying out front or you falling back. And man, I tell you though, just managed my tires, I guess, better than he did. I didn't feel like I did anything too crazy compared to he did, but he was my driving style versus his. I helped save the tires more, and it helped there on that long run in the beginning of the race for me to get by him and drive away.
Yeah, the one thing I caught, and I asked Daniel about it too, and I'll say to you, it seemed like after about 30 laps, his tires just went bye-bye.
Yeah, I'm not sure, 100% sure what Daniel had going on. I think a little bit setup. I think a little bit too his driving style and the approach you take to drive this track. I did notice a few little differences between his driving style and mine, and I think for him it worked. The first couple laps, or first quarter of the run, he would definitely be faster than me, I think. But I was just close enough on speed that he wouldn't gain too much of me there during the rest of the race. And then I guess he'd burn his right front off or his right rear, depending on what he was doing. So, and I was able to maintain the tires a little bit better than him and just hold them off.
Well, great job tonight, man. Welcome to Victory Lane. You have had, 8 top 10s, 8 top 5s, and no wins until tonight. So you got that one in the bank now for you. Congratulations, and shout out to whoever you like to, bud.
I appreciate it. Yeah, so Tap Out Tuning, V Performance Academy, appreciate them being on the car, great supporters. Michael Sharp Racing, Michael Sharp, for letting me drive for him. He pays the bills. He helped me get into this series and run this deal, so I appreciate him. And on that, the Trey Edson painted the car. Appreciate him for painting the car. He paints great cars. Joey and everybody at Sim 500 that runs the league. I think Jimmy Coleman runs the Sunday league, so appreciate them for running the league, putting up with the BS, and letting us have fun here. FEG for sponsoring the Sunday series. Appreciate what they do and the cool prizes that they offer, which gives everybody a chance, which is really cool, I think, no matter how you run. So that's really neat. So I appreciate them. And you, Chris, for putting on the broadcast. Hopefully I didn't put you to sleep too bad.
Nah, nobody put me to sleep. I was all good. We worked our way through it, and it was a great race, especially for you tonight. Congratulations on a win.
Yeah, no, and then everybody on Team Name, I appreciate them. Like I say every week, man, these guys, we have a lot of fun running together, but we run each other really, really hard too. And but I think that makes us all better.
Absolutely.
Each and every week. So.
Great job, man. Congratulations. Go celebrate a win.
All right, I appreciate it, Chris.
You too, buddy. Pedro Mojica winning this evening here at the virtual Nashville SuperSpeedway as he breaks the winning streak of Daniel Falkingham finally and goes to win here in Music City. Again, next week we'll be back on the air 8:45 Eastern Time from the virtual Texas Motor Speedway, and we'll have great racing for you before the Memorial Day weekend, and be ready to have some fun on Sunday, so we hope to see you then. As always, congratulations to Pedro Mojica. Thanks to FEG for sponsoring this series. Thanks to Joey and Jimmy Coleman for allowing me to be a part of the broadcast each and every Sunday evening. But as always, we leave you with the quote that I think I will live with until the day I stop iRacing, which, by the way, 10th anniversary being on iRacing coming up in 2 weeks. Believe that or not. This isn't just a game. It's iRacing. See ya.